It's I just realized this doesn't have our logo on it, but that's okay.
Wait, yeah,
whatever.
Would you, like, make a whole new.
Well, I haven't updated it because usually Amber's been on, so I've the two screen one has not been updated as frequently.
Whatever, man.
It's fine.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's fine.
Everyone knows Bane Mario is our
is our official mascot, apparently.
Official mascot that we used for a series that was like 4 episodes long.
And that's it. And then it was like 3 or 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
More than that.
Hey, look, there's been a lot of stuff that we've done.
Yeah, we put out a
let's
lot of
be honest. Let's be honest.
Now we all have a bunch of stuff coming out. A lot of content.
Yeah.
On the hashtag content.
Indeed.
Join the conversation.
Hello
and welcome.
False start.
Hello and welcome to 2 false starts. Hello and welcome to the Pixel Podcast. My name is Matt, and I'm here with Ethan.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
And Ricardo.
Sponsored by Angry Orchard Hard Cider.
If a new stream, a new sponsor. That's Ricardo's motto.
Yes. Never not shill.
Always chill.
Always be shilling.
You never know. They might like you, or they might actually sponsor you. For
Always be. Oh, I'm sure.
They like
marketable.
me. They really like me. What were we talking about?
Can we just get this out of the way?
Let's clear the air. Let's clear the air a little
bit. Up top,
bit.
there was some stuff said about a certain Mario character in the news these days. We're not going to talk about that story here on the podcast. You probably heard it to death. You don't need our take on it.
Well, it's funny because like when I heard about it, I just heard people say, "This is trending. Don't look it up." And I looked it up, and all it was people going, "This is trending. Don't look it up." And it took me like a good long time to actually figure. When I actually saw it, I thought it was fake, and I was like, "Whatever," and I just kept going. I just didn't think it was a big deal. I just was like, whatever, who cares?
That's what Toad was looking at on his phone in that Nintendo Direct.
Indeed. He was clairvoyant.
Yeah.
No, I follow enough political people or enough political like reporting on Twitter to like have that be like the second thing. Like everyone was talking about like three people talking about Toad, and I'm like, what's going on? And I scrolled down like three more things, like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like how we were not gonna talk about this, and now we're just talking about it.
We don't need to go into details. We're just gonna say it. Also,
don't look it up is what we'll say.
Don't look it up. Also, Ethan, that reminds me of like, have you ever seen those those streams where like those threads on Twitter where somebody's like quote tweeting something and it's like, I can't believe you said that, and then you click the quote tweet and it was like, dude, I opened this and couldn't believe it, and then you click that quote tweet and it's like just literally just a chain of people just saying like, oh man, I can't believe
the old Reddit switcheroo.
Wow, I just wasted all my time.
And I'm always just like, it was not that great. It was not as shocking as I expected it to be.
Shocked, I tell you.
I mean, Ethan's been desensitized by video games. What are you doing? You're like clicking open a bunch of different files.
I messed with the background a little bit. It's not 100%.
Okay, I mean, this is what the pre-roll before the stream could be used for.
I don't understand what you're talking about. What do you mean?
No, Ethan doesn't understand what the pre-roll is for.
I don't understand preparing. Exactly I like to do everything on the fly.
Every week I'm like, roll the pre-roll, Ethan. He's like, I will when we get started. And then I'm like, wait, that's not the
point.
That's not the point. Watch all the trailers. We talk a little bit. We get the recording all set up. He's like, all right, ready to start the pre-roll. And I'm like, that was the point.
Hey, you know what? All our followers are here, so we're fine.
Yeah, it's me. I'm the one person watching right now.
Currently. All here.
The crew's here.
This is Penny, and this is Used Napkin.
Show them out, Chip.
Thank you, Chip. Video games. We played them. We talked about them. Yeah. That's it. That's the end of the podcast.
All right. See you next week.
See you next time.
Oh, that's not
wrong podcast.
I'm so upset right now. This podcast was around for years before that podcast. Years.
I can't remember. It's not
as good. It's almost like you're on it, so you don't have to listen to it.
Yeah, you're right. There you go. Yeah. Must be it.
I listen to it every week, like several times, because I have to edit this podcast.
And you go, oh me. Is that what you do when you listen to it?
So mad right now. So mad.
We love you, man.
Are you? What are we talking about here? Can I segue this?
If you wanna make a better song, Ricardo, you go ahead and send me it, and then we'll be fine.
Our song is good. I just don't.
I don't remember what our song is. It's probably great. I just don't remember.
Honestly, I only remember ours because I edit it so much. So, or the other half's podcast. For the other half, you go to halfpodcast.com.
Whatever. Shut up.
Yeah.
We could talk about video games.
We could.
Video games we're playing. We all played.
Yeah, we've all played a video game this week.
We did together.
The same video game at the same time.
Yeah, it happened.
Ricardo got us some sweet hookups with his press credentials that he obviously sent in to Activision.
To Activision, I said,
hey, we're from Pixel Legends. And they're like, oh, wow, we need to send you several codes.
Who was the big Activision guy before? Bobby
I have no clue.
Bobby
dude.
Kotick.
Bobby Kotick, yeah.
Yeah, I was
I
like
think
Bobby.
I think he still is.
I don't know if he still is. He might be. I was like Bobby, my man.
Can I call you mom?
Could I get some of those blackout beta keys? And he's like, "Oh, you're busting my balls here, Rick." And then
I'll have so many keys to go around.
yeah, you can
My
think
boss, my boss gonna be the board's gonna be real mad with me if I do that again for you.
yeah, and I'm like, just this once. Gonna make some sales for you. No, but anyway, so we played the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 with just one, two, three, four lines
Remember
next
when
to
it was
each
just
other.
Call of
Not
Duty
how-
4?
Yeah,
Now it's like the specific spin-off that came after Call
this
of
is
Duty.
the
Now it's
fourth,
on
yeah,
fourth
the
one. That's
fourth
crazy. It's crazy
iteration
to
of
think about that.
the yeah.
Annual franchises, man.
I wonder if there will be because maybe they can only go up to 4. No, wait, has
It's
Modern
like
Warfare,
it's like Valve with
Modern Warfare
5.
keeps changing
Valve with
its
3.
suffix. I mean, they can only go to
No,
4.
Modern Warfare is only
So
up to
now
3. The last one was 3.
so maybe it's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be
it.
like
They never did anymore.
Call of Duty Black Ops, Dark Web,
Dark
and
Web.
then Dark Web 2, and then
No, it won't. It won't be. It just won't be Black Ops anymore. It'll be like, yeah, it'd be like Dark Ops or like
Yeah.
Undercover Ops. will be the
Call of
next
Duty
one.
Blackout.
Advanced Ops. They'll go Advanced Ops and then they'll go World War II Ops.
yes, back to the drawing board.
Yeah, and then-
Caveman
and then-
Ops.
Reset everything every time.
Either way, we
played it.
Played
The-
the Blackout beta.
We played the Blackout Blops Blada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Blackout Blops Blada.
Which, if you don't know what that means, it is the Black Ops iteration of the Battle
Battle
Royale
Royale.
mode that
Royale
all the
mode.
kids
Everyone's gotta have.
kids like these days.
We
with their-
flossed. We
Yeah, exactly.
we that's all the things I know.
Dabbed.
But that's all the things I know about. We built something and then we shot
did
some
the-
people and
the
died.
Stance or whatever.
Yeah, so it is Call of Duty, but bigger.
It is. That's pretty much. That's the thing. Is like.
And you had to pick up all your weapons.
yeah. When
The
when
loadouts.
True.
when I started thinking about like what we were going to talk about when we talk about this game, it's kind of difficult to talk about because it is so similar, I think, to other battle royale games, and then it is that with the Call of Duty like pacing.
Yeah, there's a
when it
couple
comes
things.
to
A couple
combat.
key things I found different is it definitely errs more on the side of like PUBG than I would say like Fortnite, where it's a lot. Even though generally Call of Duty is accepted as like an arcadey game,
Mhm.
and it still is fairly arcadey. It plays like PUBG, where it's a lot of sneaking around, a lot of hiding, a lot of that, and then all of a sudden the firefight happens. And while the firefight in PUBG is a little bit slower, this happens like really quick. The other differences
Yeah,
are
because it's still got the Call of Duty, I should say, like kind of
feel.
a fight.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I'm just like you got a few hits and then you're done. Like
Yep. It's not much. On top of that, then you have the perk system where you pick up things off the ground and you can use these perks that
Yeah.
give you little bonuses towards things. It only lasts for like 2 minutes or whatever. But some more like run around on the ground or run crouching as fast as you can, or even faster in some cases.
It'll
than
show, yeah, all
normally.
the lurker will. Oh no, that's lurker. I think it's. Oh, I
I
can't.
think that might be
remember.
sneaker. That might be a sneaking
Maybe
or something like
maybe.
that.
Sneaker
yeah.
or something like makes silences. Your
There's one
shots
that
weird.
there's one that's you use medical items way
Yeah, that's
faster.
medic.
And there's one that's
I
lets
think
you
there's
like
iron. I think iron lungs is it lets you
Hold your breath
look
longer.
down. Yeah, look down and hold your breath longer during a sniper shot because you hold your breath.
yeah, there's
and
one that
steady
lets
your aim.
you pick up items faster and use and like
So
equip
that's
items faster.
that's
so,
a neat way to integrate the more Call of Duty elements into the thing, and then
yeah.
There's gadgets.
yes, there
So
are
it's just
gadgets.
there's
There's
an RC
barriers you can
car,
put
there's barriers you
down.
can put down.
You can launch a grappling hook
Mhm.
is one of the gadgets. But that takes up your grenade slot, I think.
It does. Takes
yeah.
your grenade slot.
'Cause
So
Yeah. So does the barrier. You can also put the barrier
the
down. That also takes a-
Barrier,
that takes a
the
grenade
barbed
slot.
wire.
I will say one complaint I have with this game is that the inventory management is a little like it's okay, but I feel like it could be better.
Yeah, it's.
Oh really? Because this is the best I could picture it with a controller.
Well, I was gonna say
like,
it's is marred by the fact that this is gonna be a game primarily played with controller.
That's fine.
I think this UI is a lot better than PUBG's.
totally.
like,
but I think
you-
but the thing about it is in PUBG you just use your mouse and click around
You
and
just
move
use your
stuff
mouse,
around.
yeah.
But in this, it's like, oh, I want to swap my grenade section out. I don't want to touch anything else. You have to hit the quick menu, then you got to tab over to the
And then
grenades, and then hit the button to
swap
swap it out. Instead of, I wish it was like a cycle. You could just quickly cycle through your grenades, quickly cycle through.
I just think
your
you
other
run
things.
out of buttons. At
Yeah,
that
there's
point.
no buttons. That's my
there's
only
the-
complaint.
Because you have the perks, you have the grenades, you have the main weapons, you have.
That's it. There's only
Getting
3
down
things.
sights, but then every other button is
Yeah.
doing something else. And
Yeah,
even then,
you
the
could- you
directional
could just
pad
help-
is like to do the different like emotes and different
Yeah,
like.
they could have had like hold
command
left
list
or
stuff.
like even if it was just 2 buttons you have to hit or something, just so you can do
Yeah.
quick. Hold the button down, swap.
I
Whatever.
think it works.
It works
well
okay.
enough.
I just wish it would be a little bit more smooth.
Yeah,
but
I never found myself in a trouble situation where I couldn't swap and needed to or something like that. That was not really an issue. What was more of an issue was telling the difference between the guns because they all felt exactly the same.
That was what I was gonna say. So yeah, the thing the thing is,
I
is
want,
like
sorry, I want to just quickly say,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I had more fun with this than I expected to have. Before, because we're kind of nitpicking right now, which is totally fine. I think that these are legit criticisms, but like I was not expecting to really like this very much at all. I wanted to play it because you guys were playing it, and I was like, yeah, I'll join in and check it out. But I have not played Call of Duty since literally Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 1, and I wasn't very good at it then. Didn't really, I thought it was fine, but didn't really play the single player, and I didn't enjoy the multiplayer. So I wasn't really expecting to like it, but I enjoyed it. I had fun playing it, especially with you guys. And I even went and played some solo matches because I enjoyed it enough. But yeah, I think go ahead with what you were gonna say. I just want to say because I just want to say that before
No,
we get into like the harsh.
I'll
I'll
add on to that and say, yeah, I was playing a bit of the solo for a while and was having a good time with it. In fact, like certain times, so one of the things we didn't mention was that it is obviously a battle royale type game. So the map is very PUBG-esque in the way that it's laid out. But one of the other elements that makes this more like a Call of Duty game is that it takes classic Call of Duty maps and just basically plants them in the level. So like there's an island off to the bottom, like to the south of the map, which is Nuketown Island, which is just the map Nuketown on like an island by itself.
So it's obviously been adjusted
it's
slightly.
a weird
to
Nuketown
fit.
though. It's not exactly like how
It's
it
not
was.
exactly like it, but I mean
Yeah.
it is close enough. And I think that is like when you are actually in those sections of the map, you start realizing like how good again like the Call of Duty map design is. Like I remember I was in the firing range on solo for one of my earlier games, and I got on like a 5-kill streak again, just kind of remembering that muscle memory of like sight lines and the way the like Call of Duty kind of Twitch gameplay works and stuff like that. But as much fun as I had solo, which I did have a fair amount of fun, I had more fun playing this solo than I've ever had playing Fortnite solo. But it really got fun when we were working as like a unit, because
Were
not
we
only
were we ever working as a
Well, but that's the thing,
were
is,
we
like,
working as a unit?
when we actually did fairly well there on our like last match together, like that was fun, but was equally
Yeah.
almost as fun was just how terrible things can go when you're trying to work with other people and trying to communicate with other people and sort of like share information and then share like resources together with other people, and how quickly communication can break down and lead to everybody dying pretty spectacularly.
Yeah.
Ethan and I had a match. We played a duos match on Sunday morning, and I think it went something along the lines of that, where it was like, "There's a guy out there. Where? Right there. Where's there?" And I ran around in circles and got shot.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, it's just standard. That's the thing is, it's
It,
not.
it,
too
no,
much
it, it's
different
happens in
than-
all sorts of games.
It's
So
not
it
that
is-
much
it-
different from PUBG or
Mhm.
anything like that. But it is nice to see a kind of hardcore, realistic type battle royale game that doesn't run like ass. It actually runs really great on console. Like there were certainly some bugs.
They got up to 100 players as well. By the
Yeah,
time
they
they-
eventually made up to 100 players. There's definitely some bugs, but as far as performance goes, it ran really great.
Yes,
that Call
I
of
did
Duty
have a bug where I
60
fell
second.
through a building, kind of clipped through a wall, and
Yeah.
then fell. There's a construction site which is like freaking 20 stories of
All of our
this construction thing, and
all
then
of our names were
I
duplicated.
I parachuted on top of it, and then like clipped me through the wall into the middle of this construction site, which has this big hole in it, and it like I was stuck in the wall, falling through the construction site, and then died. First person dying in that, or like second person dying on that.
It's a beta.
and that.
Yeah. Yeah. My main criticism, beyond anything else, would honestly be what Matt alluded to earlier, when that it's all the guns are names of like actual guns or like models of guns, so it's a lot of letters followed by numbers, and you can kind of glance at the gun specifically after you pick it up and detain what kind of gun it is, whether this is going to be an assault rifle, an SMG style weapon, a pump shot, like a shotgun style weapon, or a long range sniper. But like
It can be tricky
There
sometimes.
was almost no way
There's
for
a
us to
couple
tell
guns.
until we shot it. Really.
Yeah, I
So
was
so
gonna
many
say
times
a
we're
lot of
like, "Let's shoot
time-
this in the air."
which I mean is, as you learn the game more and as you
Yeah.
play more,
Yeah.
that stuff will become more apparent.
I think
but
it was
like,
just like
Exactly.
also they're like weird future guns. Like PUBG works off of like AK-47s. Okay, I know what
well,
that
and the thing is, and or like Fortnite, which is like tells you exactly what the gun
Yeah,
is,
exactly.
and then gives it color on whether it's like better or not. Here, you can't really tell if a gun is necessarily going to be better than something else just off the bat, like until you actually get into a firefight and you're like, oh,
And then
this
you
gun is
find
really
out,
good.
oh, this gun's garbage.
Or this
That's
gun's
PUBG
bad.
style.
I did enjoy the ability that is, this is in PUBG, but you know, obviously not in Fortnite, but it is here, and it is actually a big component in the actual Call of Duty multiplayer of like customizing your guns with the like sights and scopes that you want.
Yeah.
And so it's fun here to like have a gun that you're like maybe survived a firefight with, and you're like, oh, this gun's pretty good, and then you find a reflex scope for it, and you find a stock for it,
Yeah.
and you just feel, you know,
Yeah.
Tricked out, man.
feel like, yeah, a little bit more customized.
And also, the other thing that's interesting is that they don't have hit scan, but there's like no bullet
Well,
drop.
so I heard. So I apparently this is secondhand here. I think I heard this on the Bombcast. But apparently they are doing different things depending on how far away you are during the fight,
Mm.
which is
That's
interesting. So I don't know. This is secondhand. I think
So I
Jeff
had
Griffin
heck
said
of
this
a, I had
on
a
the-
heck of a time freaking trying to snipe people for a
Yeah,
while.
so that's the thing. So right, if you're further away, it creates distance, and the bullets take time to travel. But if you're like up close, it plays more like normal Call of Duty, which I think is mostly hit scan with maybe one or two weapons that are specialty that don't use hit scan.
Yeah.
But and for people that like maybe don't know the verbiage, like hit scan is basically just like a laser. And obviously the gun is not a laser gun, but just as soon as you click or hit
It,
the
like,
trigger
determines
button, it
was
just-
he there when you pulled the trigger?
then boom, they
Then
got
he
hit.
Gets hit. Yeah.
Whereas like a projectile weapon like it would PUBG does with all of its guns, no matter how far away you are, is the bullet shoots out of your gun and takes time to get to the other player, and if it hits their hitbox, then they take damage. So
Yeah.
apparently, and again, this is secondhand, so I don't actually know if this is true, but this is like what they're doing is if you're far away, it does a like projectile, and if you're close, it does a hit scan. I don't know if that is 100% how.
I don't know.
it works, but
I don't know. I
It
always
never
had
felt
trouble.
it definitely felt like this game is not going to be good at long range. Like there are sniper rifles in the game, but this is like the
I
way
think
you all
once you get
play.
used to it, it might be better. But yeah, it was just something I wasn't used to when I had a good sniper rifle with a scope.
Yeah,
I think it just takes time to get
Yeah,
used
Call
to.
of Duty.
Call
well,
of Duty is not a traditionally sniper.
That
heavy
also
yeah,
is
because
game.
maps are usually
But the maps are
closer
so big now.
quarters.
This map is so big.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Mm.
Like in a typical Call of
But they're
Duty.
throwing the Call of Duty formula into this big map. That's the
Yeah.
thing I think that it's running into is it feels weird. It doesn't
Also, there
like-
are vehicles.
the space in
Yeah.
between the kind of Call of Duty existing maps that Ricardo mentioned earlier are very very much just like this is just the PUBG map.
Yeah.
or like
this is
a-
some
like a-
mountains.
Here's some hills,
Some
some
hills.
kind of Mediterranean looking brush and like trees. And then like every now and then there's a PUBG map. There's a Call of Duty map like
Yeah.
that you run into in between them. It's very weird.
Yes.
There's this very clear delineation of like thing is like buildings and things, and then it's like now just
The
some
estates.
like generic houses.
Very good loot in the estates. we
Yes,
found
that's
out.
where I usually go.
Very, very good loot. Good times in the States. But I think the thing, though, that we all concluded, I think even you, Ricardo, who pre-ordered the game, is that we're like, this is fun. I don't know if I want to spend $60 on, like, this particular one game mode. Because
I don't like the other game mode.
Yeah, like, I might dabble with zombies, but like,
Yeah,
I don't really want to play multiplayer.
See, I
that
used to
much.
play a ton of, so that would be the other mode to me that I would probably get into, is just the standard Call of Duty multiplayer.
Yeah, I used to play a lot.
But
too.
even then, I don't know. It's just like, and the thing is like Call of Duty campaigns are typically like 4 to 6 hours long.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not even like a ton of gameplay, but it's just like a weird thing where you take that out of it, and for some reason the package just seems a little less.
It just seems hollow for $60. Like, I don't think
attractive.
there's a lot of multiplayer only games that release for $60. I don't think I can't remember any in recent memory that's ever done that. Because even Overwatch, I think it was 40 when it came out. You could pay 60 for the super version or whatever.
Well, yeah, which is the one that I think
that's a
the
good
Origins edition, which is the console had to get that one.
Yeah.
But you did get, bonuses for getting that, even if they're.
Everyone got it because it's the only one you could get. Well, you could buy it digitally though, couldn't you?
What's that?
Couldn't you buy Overwatch digitally on PlayStation?
I'm pretty sure you could. It was still always the
No,
Origins.
it's
Yeah, I
only
think you're right. I
always
think
sold
you're
the
right.
Origins edition on console. Yeah.
It's a tough ask though. It's a tough ask for a game where it's like, yep, it's more Call of Duty, and you can get you can get that style of
Overwatch could do that because Blizzard makes
I
it.
was gonna say that is weird how I felt nothing about spending that on Overwatch, knowing it was.
It's a Blizzard thing. Like I don't think it's this. I think it'd be better if Overwatch was free to play, considering how many loot boxes and how long the game's been going at this point. It's not like it's a new game anymore, but they know they can charge $40 for it, so why would they not?
Yeah,
even on PC they hide that from you. Like you go to my brother when he bought it was after the game came out, and I had to like explain to him how to go on the PC and find the place where you could pay $40 for the game, because it was not. It's like they want you to buy the $60 version.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing, but yeah, I think you're right. Blizzard's the only one who can kind of do that. But like Call of Duty's been coming out every year, and you're like, okay, I've gotten used to. I got my single player, I got my zombies, I got my multiplayer. And now it's like, well, what if we took the single player out and put battle royale? And it's like, yeah, that's cool, but I could also get battle royale in like almost any other game. Yeah. Not almost every game, but
Although although this, again, the quality of this one was pretty polished. A pretty polished game in comparison to a lot of those others.
Oh, totally,
and
yeah.
Fortnite definitely is not. You're not getting the same kind of experience
it's not the
from
same
playing
game
that.
at all.
It's different, yeah. I don't think it's quite the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting thing. I don't know if I'll keep the pre-order now that I played the beta. It's funny, like it's funny. It's like I played the beta and I was like, I really like this, and then I was just like, but for some reason playing it and seeing kind of like the scope of it, I was just like, but maybe I don't spend $60 on this thing. Yeah, if this is like primarily what I'm looking to the game for. So
there's our lukewarm. It's pretty good, but
it's good.
Sure
it's good, but
if you're sold on Call of Duty, you're probably getting this regardless. But if you were interested in the Battle Royale mode, it's good.
It's good. Yeah, it works pretty well. There's some weird things about it, but I'm sure they will be patching it and updating it and doing all sorts of stuff to it. So, we've also been playing some other games. We've talked about most of these before. Or just actually the one game actually. Just the one game actually. Ethan, how's Spider-Man? Did you beat it? Did you beat Spider-Man?
I'm done with Spider-Man.
Cool. I'm not. So don't spoil it for me.
I'll tell you the ending. In the ending, Spider-Man dies.
Oh no.
He saves the world. That's fine.
I'm really interested. And my favorite character is Dr. Otto Octavius. I hope nothing bad happens to him. That's all I care about.
Nothing bad happens to him.
Cool.
Nothing.
As long as he's just a good old friend of mine.
He's just a good old pal, It's got a very interesting name, but for no reason. I really like the ending of that game. I thought it came.
I've heard it's good.
Came
I've heard it's very good.
Surprisingly, emotionally resonant.
Wow, cool.
For what kind of more than I was expecting, because especially like I actually didn't really like the last third of the game as much. Like I didn't hate it, but it was definitely like, okay, I'm just gonna go.
I hear there's a lot of those stealth sections in the last third.
Yeah, there's just a lot of that and a lot of the fighting. We're only fighting, and I'm like, oh, the fighting's fine, but it's definitely got to the point where it's kind of tiring. So a lot of that, but it was still like the story was enough to push me forward and finish it up. But then like I just kind of just stopped. Like there's a lot of things I can do afterwards. I can go finish up
Sure.
side missions.
Yeah.
I have not touched.
I've
it
done a
since
ton of side missions. That's what Amber and I have been spending most of our time with.
I have not.
doing-
I have just for some reason, as soon as I beat the game, I just have lost all motivation to continue playing it.
That's
I-
what usually happens to me.
yeah, so I might try to jump in and just maybe finish up the backpacks and the side missions.
Oh, you didn't
maybe-
even do the backpacks?
No, I didn't finish it.
You didn't get the cool suit you get for getting all the backpacks?
No, I didn't get a cool suit yet. So then, yeah, I got that. I did all the towers. Got to get a couple pigeons. I don't know. The ones that are really close to, I might just finish out and then just be like, I'm good, and then call it a day. Call it a day with Gold Spidey.
Yeah.
That being said, that game was really good. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah.
It was.
I like it a lot. We hit the big like first act, I feel like, checkpoint
Okay.
where the mayor has a rally.
Yeah.
And then everything is fine. Then that's it.
Oh.
And then Spider-Man goes home that night and he's like, yep, that was good. That was a good day, and nothing bad happened. And then next day happens, and you don't have to investigate any suspicious characters that you may or may have already met previously, and you thought they were fine, but they're not.
That's one
fine.
thing that's weird is that stuff like that. I'm like, okay, very obvious game where you're telling.
It's just superhero stuff. I feel like you can't like get away from it.
Is there's parts that that really it winks and nods at you like, yeah, you know what I thought you're gonna go that way. We're not going to go that way in this particular storyline. There's lots of moments like that in this game that I thought were really clever, and it's just like you expect the thing to happen and it happens, and the actual very end does have a thing where it's like you expect this to happen and it does happen, and you're kind of like, oh, that kind of sucks. That
But
thing
you said
kinda
then it was
sucks.
good.
The end. The wrapping up loose ends is good, or I guess the actual ending is good, but the part at the, you know how movies, it's like, okay, everything's fine. Now we're gonna have the humans talk to each other and like
The
humans.
the
we're gonna have the
humans
characters talk to each other and be like all friendly and like
Let's slip that he's an alien there. He'd be like,
yeah, my bad. Again. Wrap it all up and be like, oh, we're gonna kind of talk about how these big events have changed, you know.
You mean the denouement? Is that what
Yeah.
you're talking about?
And then I'm like, that part's kind of lame.
Oh. Oh, okay.
All the humans
This
talk to
game-
each other, and it is lame.
This game sold better than God of War, I think.
Yeah,
Which-
this is the fastest selling Sony exclusive or something like that.
Yeah,
I
Makes
ju- I
sense.
which
just
Which is
saw-
also like even if you know that God of War, you don't have to play other ones for. You're like, oh, it's a series. I didn't play the last.
Well,
like,
and for
couple.
me too, like
I didn't play the last ones, and I played.
Well, I
God
know
of
that's
War.
you, but I'm saying for obviously me, I've had that feeling, and I'm sure there's other people who've had that feeling too.
Oh, I am like 100% that guy though. Of like, oh, this new game's coming out. I gotta play all the other ones before I play this one. And God of War. Like,
I know you. I'm saying you
doesn't
did,
require-
but there are many other people who probably didn't.
my thing too is that it's an M-rated
true, it
game
is also
versus
an
a
M-rated game.
T-rated game. So.
Yeah.
Kids can pick up Spider-Man.
and also, I mean, like, it's Spider-Man. Like, people
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
people know
I know that
Spider-Man.
licensed games are usually bad. but,
No
like,
Kratos.
yeah, it's good, and
There's
yeah,
there's a reason that licensed games usually are still made even though they are bad is because like they can sell even if they're not good because people know the name Spider-Man or whatever.
and
But it happens to be
nostalgia.
a good game, so that means it got a lot of hype around it, got a lot of good reviews. So, and the worst
Even
thing that
more
happened to
people
it was
bought
that puddle got removed. So that was
Shit.
Yeah. Sounds so silly in hindsight when the rest of the game looks amazing.
yeah, it's a really good looking game. It looks
Somebody
good, plays
take
good.
a
I have a question
selfie next to the puddle.
I have a question for you. While you're playing Spider-Man, do you notice there's like a big kind of black box around your TV? Like it doesn't completely fill up the 1080. Like there's like a little tiny sliver on the sides.
I
where
haven't
it's-
noticed it, but I mean, I'll double check next time I go to the thing. Maybe that's your aspect ratio or something like that.
Maybe I don't have
your,
a weird
like-
scan turned on or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I-
yeah, I
I
noticed that. I noticed it wasn't filling
I'll
the
double
TV.
check, but I haven't noticed it.
Yeah, I was
myself.
curious if that was just a way they did it to make it run really good and like lower the resolution a little bit. Maybe I don't know.
Cheating. They're cheating. It's not real
Cheating. Should
1080.
not- 1080
Post like get on Reddit and post it right now.
Post it.
Not real 1080.
They promise
doing,
it. They
They're doing
pull-
900 by
What a
something else.
downgrade.
This
Is it
game
down?
looks like ass.
It looks like ass.
But yeah, that's our Spider-Man minute, I guess.
A Spider Minute.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, the last thing that we did was we gotta go. We talked to our friend Dr. Otto Octavius, who was our good friend and we are lab assistants too. And
Okay.
he's a good guy
Yeah.
that is just trying to help
Doc-
the world.
Yeah.
Pop
And-
Octavius.
Dr. Otto Octavius, that's his name.
Dr.
Nothing else
Otto.
weird
I call him
about that.
Pop Octavius, but you knew.
Yeah, Popok. Tavius.
Papa Ock.
Tavius.
Tavius.
And yeah, so we talked to him, and then we were gonna go have dinner. That's the last thing that we are doing. So
Gotcha.
I'll let you know what happens next week on the next exciting adventure
I
of
mean, his wife
Spider-Man.
is so nice.
Yeah.
I mean-
I wish Amber was here next week. If she's on, we'll talk about this. We watched all 3 of Sam Raimi's trilogy of Spider-Man
So
movies.
good.
Spider-Man 2 is really good. So good.
So good.
So good.
The blade that pierced your father's heart came from his own glider.
You know what? The funny thing is that like we watched Spider-Man 3 I think Tuesday night, a couple nights ago, and it's not that bad until about halfway in, and it just like goes like boom like that. Like it's like around the time that he starts doing the dancing moves and all that kind of stuff. Like
You're a
It's
good
almost like the
woman?
time when he's gonna announce like
I am good man.
it's almost like when you put the third villain and it got bad.
Yeah, I was
it
gonna
really-
say like it seemed like it seemed like they had a decent script with the Sandman in there.
Harry Osborn probably too. I bet he was.
Yeah, and
probably-
then maybe Harry in there as well. And it's like, man, this Sandman character is really sympathetic and like, you feel for him. And then it's just like, no, his name's not big enough. When are you gonna put Venom in there?
Venom's the one everyone loves, and I'm actually a big Venom fan. I think Venom's a cool cool villain.
Get
but-
Eric Foreman from that '70s show.
No, it's not Eric Foreman. It's
No, it's Eric Foreman.
Oh,
It's
Eric
Topher-
Foreman's the character
yeah,
name.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't. I never watched that '70s show. So I
Oh
just,
man,
a
hanging
joke.
out.
he's not a good Eddie Brock.
Down the
He's not a
street.
good Eddie Brock at all.
Did you not watch
Even-
this
No, I
show?
didn't.
What the fuck?
Even-
Am I that
yeah.
old?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
old.
you're old.
You're really old.
I was alive during the '70s.
Yeah, you're in the 70s show.
Man,
In the 70s.
I was Jackie.
It's funny how much of a nosedive that movie takes because it starts off like with some interpersonal drama between him and Mary Jane and just like his complex like the evolution of Spider-Man 1 to being like this shat-on hero to like Spider-Man 3 and the city loves him and everything's great and he has a girlfriend now and everything's like good for him and then like how he messes that up. It's like a really cool story. And then it's like, oh, never mind, we gotta have him act like a cool douche, and like apparently the way that works is by dancing in the middle of the New York streets. Like that's how you do that.
What good dancers, though.
And then you gotta be like, you're trash, Brock.
Which is also funny because Brock is trash.
Eddie Brock.
Like the idea that like he did that because he was so evil because he had the dark suit on and he just had the emo hair going and he
Yes.
was very evil. It's like, well, Eddie Brock did forge a photo and then use that to publish to a newspaper. That is kind of a thing that you would definitely get fired for. It's not like Peter Parker made that get him in trouble. Like he
But
did
he
do the
only
bad
did
thing.
that because Spider-Man smashed his camera. And he was like, what the hell, man?
And he had a different camera. He got
Yeah,
a
he had a
little tiny
little
like
Fuji
digital
show.
camera. Yeah.
Man, what a funny movie.
that trilogy's not that bad. It's definitely like cheesy and it's aged a little bit, but it holds up decently well.
I still think Doc Ock is a good villain.
I rewatching it, I
Uh-huh.
didn't like it as much as I thought I was gonna like it. I like Spider-Man 2 is still probably the best one of that trilogy, but I don't like the fact they made him be like, oh, the arms are controlling him with their AI, and the little inhibitor chip on his back is broken now, so he's being controlled, which is what they did already in the first movie with the Green Goblin. Is like Norman Osborn's not a bad guy; he's just being controlled.
Yeah.
Finish it. Deliver us.
Those eyes, those yellow eyes.
I don't remember any of this.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of this.
The Other Half podcast coming soon.
No.
Spider-Man, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
No.
They say that a hero can save us.
Well,
Yeah,
like all trilogies.
the The second one's probably the best, but the weird Doc Ock being controlled by the arms is dumb. Like he should just be a villain.
I
It's,
still
like,
think Alfred Molina does a really good job.
yeah, no,
And-
he does. Yeah, he's a good actor.
And the scene where Doc Ock like is on the operating table is like straight up Sam Raimi.
That is
going
very
back to
Sam
doing
Raimi.
like his like Evil Dead
horror,
style,
yeah, Evil
like,
Dead stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
that is full on.
Yeah, that part was very scary as a kid when I saw that.
I remember being scared as a kid at that
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
Especially when the guy's like reaching and then he takes like the saw and he's like,
They,
I'm like,
yeah, well, they have a girl with the fingernail, the fingernail
nails.
thing, and
Nails
her
across.
fingernails come off. Oh, that's the part where it's like that. That always, yeah.
yeah. Man.
Anyway, moving
I'm a
on.
monster.
Now that we're done talking about Spider-Man, it's time for the news.
Ah. Speaking
The
of
new-
all,
the
so
thing that everybody's been talking about, Toad.
like,
No.
what do you say? What were you gonna say, Ethan?
we had the NES Classic.
We did.
We had the Super NES Classic,
Indeed.
arguably the best one, the Super NES Classic.
Probably.
That's one I've got.
So now we got the third iteration of little
The-
teeny tiny
the
console.
N64 classic?
classic.
Nope.
It's here.
Sony's like, gotcha.
Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch.
PlayStation Mini,
Whoa.
$100. Pay it up.
Okay, how many games are on it?
20.
Okay, which games are on it?
Well, there's 5 we're gonna talk about right now.
What?
That's
And
it.
then also, do you want to buy it? You can buy it right now. That's the part that I don't like. Like the part of like we're only announcing 5 games is like whatever, but then
I want
On
to say they
top
only
of-
announced 4.
No, it's 5.
Oh, it was 5.
Final Fantasy
There's, like-
7, Jumping Flash, R4 Ridge Racer. Wait, what?
Ridge
Yeah,
Racer.
R4 Ridge Racer Type 4. What a weird thing. Tekken 3 and Wild Arms.
Wild Arms.
So-
Wild Arms.
Which I'm gonna say it right. Well, first of all, this thing I'm gonna do a compliment sandwich. I'm gonna say something good about it, and then something bad, and then something good to end.
Okay,
it.
yeah, and you'll make
Okay.
it not hurt its feelings, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, the thing looks cool. Like obviously,
Yeah.
it's very much in
it
the
looks
style.
like a
of-
PlayStation.
It looks like a PlayStation, but like the actual buttons working and like doing
It tastes like a PlayStation.
that's
It smells
cool.
like a PlayStation.
But something that I don't like about it is that I feel like they didn't really come out of the gate that strong with the games that we're talking about here because
Sony's problem is that most of its games library is third party
it's true.
and not Nintendo's.
And I
Nintendo's
mean-
strong point is like we could only put Nintendo games in this thing and it would be really good.
Like-
and
For example, Tekken 3 is a great game, but also Tekken 7 is a great game and it's out right,
Right,
now. And
yeah.
it's pretty much better in most conceivable ways
Yeah.
to Tekken 3. Final Fantasy 7, great game. It's also, if you don't own at least one copy of Final Fantasy 7 at this point, then,
Also,
then you
they're coming
really
out
have
with a
no
remake,
interest in
yeah.
fucking.
And it's also like, you want to play this Ridge Racer game? It's like,
Hey, Kaz Hirai is going crazy.
whoa, you hit the open
right
button, it
now.
opens a virtual
Ridge
disc.
Racer.
That's weird. Also, this is what Final Fantasy 7 looked like. I don't think I've ever seen what it looked like before.
Yeah, dude.
Huh.
yeah. It looks all realistic in the battles, and then it's got like the chibi versions
little-
in the top in
Yeah,
the like.
Interesting.
And then
moving
Wild
around
Arms is kind of like the niche, like cult classic RPG on there. And then what's the other one in there? It's Tekken, Final Fantasy, Ridge Racer, Wild Arms, and what?
section.
Oh,
wait,
Jumping
that's
Flash,
Jumping
another
Flash.
another very
That's like the first platformer ever, right? The first 3D platformer.
platformer.
It's
yeah,
just such a
another one.
tough sell because like the other one, it's like, hey, here's Super Mario World. Here's like the
Bye,
Super
bitch. Bye,
Super Metroid.
bitches.
Yeah,
Super
bye.
Saiyans.
Super Samus game. Super Metroid. What am I thinking?
Super
It's got like all
Samus?
those games and
That's what he was saying. That's what he said, was saying.
Super Samus.
Super
Super Samus.
Super Samus.
Man, remember when Goku went Super Samus?
Yep.
What if Metroid was a girl? would you? Would you?
But
be
see, like, I
surprised to
feel
hear?
like, wouldn't you also announce we got Crash?
no, because there's already a remake of that. Go
Yeah,
buy it on
but this-
PS4.
Same with the Spyro.
There's
Go buy Spyro. It's not even out yet, but go
Oh,
pre-order it.
Spyro.
Also, no dual analog, no dual shock.
Yeah, it's not a
garbage.
DualShock.
This is
the
actually
shit-
the
it
biggest.
does
I
step.
forgot the DualShock came out.
It
on
does come
PlayStation.
with 2
So
controllers.
does the Super
which is
NES
neat.
classic.
Oh, it
So
did.
yeah, Super
well,
NES
then
also comes with
fuck.
two. The first one did not. The NES
But
Classic did
also,
not.
Super
but the
NES is
NES
only what? Is it $7? Is it $80 or $70?
I think it was.
I think it
seven,
was
it was
80.
It was 80 or 90. I can't
I
remember.
think
but
it was
not-
80, and I think NES Classic was either
70.
60 or
It
70.
was less. It was $10 less, I think, than
Yeah.
the one before it. So,
This is 100.
no DualShock means no Ape Escape. And Ape Escape is art. This pure art.
Yeah,
like
that's interesting.
you're cutting yourself off.
I
from,
feel like that would have
half
been a system seller
related-
almost.
Yeah, like
Ape
that
Escape.
is like.
I can see them doing
Oh,
Symphony
what
of
are we
the
gonna get
Night.
instead? Croc. We're gonna get Croc.
No,
Ooh.
you'll
Get
get
Croc.
You'll get
Tank
Gex.
Control 3D
Gex.
platformers.
Gex.
Maybe
Yes.
maybe Resident Evil 1. Like or maybe no, they might
Why
do
no
RE2.
DualShock? Why no DualShock? That is
I don't know,
insane
man.
to me. Like I know it's more expensive probably to make it that way or something, but like
I feel like
the
this
whole
has to
point-
have Symphony of the
PlayStation's
Night
whole
on
thing
it,
was
right?
like, wait, we got DualShock in this thing. I know it launched with the button controllers, but
What if it has Mr. Bones on it?
yeah, oh, that's a system seller right there.
It could have Rappa the Rapper.
It's also tough
Sure, okay,
because
yeah,
not even
good.
like people are
Maybe
talking
Jam
about.
that
Maybe
recently, too.
Jamalami. Since people have played those remasters of Parappa.
This is also a tough sell because it's like you look at that and you're just like, man, that's like when 3D models are not very good looking. Like because
Yeah, the thing
You know
about
what?
that.
You know what else is a tough sell? Putting it up for pre-order and announcing 5 games out of 20, and then just saying, "Buy it!" Like there'll be other things. You guys are chumps. Buy it.
you guys like
that's-
small consoles, right?
How many people on Twitter I've seen going like, "I bought one. I pre-ordered one." It's like, oh my god.
Because like that's the thing is like,
nostalgia is
cool.
such a market, isn't it? Nostalgia is
is.
such a market.
it's
like,
it is a tactic that literally says
Oh, wait a second.
we
What's
don't
up?
even have to. We don't even
yeah,
have
we
to.
don't we know you're
on
gonna
it.
if you're in the bag for this, you're in the bag for this, and we don't even have to try. What are you looking at?
USB AC adapter not included on this trailer. Does that mean you have to actually does that mean you actually have to buy a
Like a
USB-C
power source?
power source?
That would be lame.
Sounds wrong.
That sounds terrible. I don't know. That's what it says. in
We
the
got
trailer.
your money already. bitch.
Whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We put it in small font. It's fine. Yeah, it just seems dumb to me. This just seems dumb. It's cool.
It's funny.
but it's just it's one of those things that seems cool in practice until you actually do it, and you're like, oh well, maybe not.
In concept, I mean, it
Almost
seems
there.
cool in concept.
No, in practice. What are you talking
Okay.
about? No, in practice, dude. Isn't that an HDMI cable?
So it has the cord, but it doesn't have the little power brick you need to plug it in. So it's like coming
No
with the-
power brick, so you just gotta use an existing USB.
You gotta find like a
power
USB
brick?
cord or something like that to plug it in.
What kind of power? What wattage does it? Like you gotta go find an.
It looks like it's one of those the normal USB A.
Oh, cord. Oh, a cable.
It comes with the cable, but it doesn't
not
come
the
with the
brick.
brick that
It
you
doesn't
plug
come
in.
with a brick.
Yeah.
So what brick do you use? Like what size
Whatever
wattage?
your phone uses.
Like
I don't know.
I don't know.
that's weird.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, that
This is very
like I don't
strange.
want to I almost feel like I'm caught in the journalism trap, guys. I'm doing what the mainstream press did to Trump. I'm like, well, I can't shit on it too much because I bought an SNES Classic. It does look like I'm being a fanboy if I say this is bad, but also this sounds bad.
But it's bad.
This also doesn't sound good. Like, you know what I mean? Like
It
this is,
sounds fine. If
It
that's
sounds
what you're looking.
It sounds
for.
fine. I just don't like the way they're announcing
I'm
it.
sure
that's
it'll
all.
be
Yeah.
competently made and that the ports will
yeah,
be
no,
good,
no,
but-
exactly. Yeah, I'm sure the hardware will be fine. I'm sure that it'll play just fine. I just like no dual analog cuts me off from some of the games that I actually thought were the best of that series, and yeah, and then no.
What if it has?
And try to sell a thing that you have not announced the things for is
What if it has Jedi power battles?
Okay, story time. Before this podcast,
You play Jedi power battles.
no, I was thinking about what was that game we just saw? What was PUBG on that Korean site? It was Jedi.
Oh, Jedi Survival.
Yeah. I was checking out. So
What?
we're streaming on Mixer. Welcome all people who see us on Mixer.
what?
To that, you have to use Restream, which is the program we're using to put the multiple things. And they have a whole bunch of different different all sorts of like weird indie kind of like streaming services. One of them is just about like people vaping. One of them is just like people talking about baseball cards. It's crazy. So I went down a rabbit hole while Ricardo was eating. We're just looking at all of them. And there was one that was like, it looked like it was a Korean streaming site. And so Google Translate, I hit the translate button, and they had all the games you knew, but they all had wacky names.
Do you still have that open? Or
No, I don't have it open. But I know the one that stood out most to me was PUBG was called Jedi Survive.
Jedi Survive. Also, Stimulate the Battlefield.
Yes.
Was another PUBG.
That was like PUBG Mobile or
Ooh,
something.
that one will be banned from Steam.
Stimulate the Battlefield. Fortnite was called Fortress Knight for some reason.
Accurate.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was just
weird.
funny to see like the PUBG logo and the guy with the like welder's mask on, and then it say Jedi Battle or Jedi Survive.
It's Survive.
I wonder how it
It's
got
not
that.
even. It's not even a survival game.
No, I don't know what.
You gotta survive, and everyone has guns like a Jedi. I don't have guns.
You have to mind trick them to tell them you're not hiding in the bathtub.
Yeah. All right. So you know what? PlayStation probably is gonna had to make room
Yeah,
for all
okay,
that. Had to make room
uh-huh.
for all those PlayStation minis. So
Yeah,
they
they
had to
get
shut-
the plastic
they
for
had
that.
they had to
Only
shut
one
something
pla-
else
only one
down.
place they can get it from.
They had to shut down the Vita production.
Wow, the thing that like 20 news stories have come out like every year about, but it's not. They've always said it's not. That's not true. It's not true. And then
Happening this
year-
time.
this time.
According to Polygon, manufacturing and shipping for Sony's handheld will come to an end sometime in 2019.
Yep.
Hiroyuki Oda, senior vice president for Sony Interactive Entertainment, told Famitsu, the Japanese game publication, Famitsu. So yeah, let's see. There's a little bit of a timeline. Sony stopped developing games for the Vita in 2015, and the platform became something of a backwater for small-scale indie games as opposed to console-size experiences taken on the go.
And then the production of the physical Vita games, and then they also PlayStation Plus is one of the only ways I was getting Vita games.
Because
then
you
NS
have a Vita.
I do have a Vita. And I think that ended around. I think they're ending that this year. This is the last year for PlayStation Plus Vita games. So now it's just like, what are we gonna do with this Vita? Oh, we're just gonna sunset it and put it out to rest. I'm just kind of sad because I think the Vita has like one of the best handheld screens I've ever seen. It's a great little device, and playing certain like I played all of doing that cross buy where I could play Hotline Miami 2 on my PlayStation and then play it on my Vita as well.
Wow.
Very, very cool. And now it's like it's just sad, you know, because it had its place, but definitely I would rather play everything now on the Switch, which is just like you can also do that same sort of thing of playing Hotline Miami 2 on your bed or in your bed and then on your couch at the same time. You know, you just swap it over.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of it gives you that same thing. I mean, you don't have to own two consoles now, so it's like the Switch kind of just came in and ate the Vita's lunch completely.
Yeah, I mean, I never ended up getting a Vita. For a while, it seemed like it would be a decent option to do that, just because
Yeah.
at the time when I shared like a TV that my console would be like played on with somebody else.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I wanted to be able to play games without necessarily intruding on that other person. But again, like one, the Switch does that as well, and two, it's like I feel like even the performance.
buy a
suffered
Vita
little bit
now.
on Vita.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely games that lag, but I
All the indie games that came out on Vita are like coming to Switch now. So
yep, which is probably a more powerful console if I remember definitely by this point, because I mean Vita's pretty old by now. But no successor either. It doesn't sound like they're gonna jump back in that portable game anytime soon. Looks like they're probably gonna stick with PlayStation 4, 5, and then whatever with the VR thing. Seems like that's doing better for them than the actual Vita. Which is kind of weird.
yeah, I mean, I can't imagine there've been a ton of Vita sales
No.
recently.
There's just
Probably
nothing
not.
on it. Like every time I look back and I'm like, boy, I wonder if anything news came on the Vita, and it was just like, oh, here's the best games. I'm like, I own all those.
Yeah.
There's like 5 of them.
Congrats, you did it.
Congrats, I did it. But
You
it's-
completed the Vita.
I completed the Vita. Vita done.
This is just a little story, but I thought it was interesting that Rockstar had a few more details about Red Dead Redemption 2, including that you can play the entire game in a first-person perspective, much like GTA 5 before it. Did you ever play you play GTA 5 on
I have
on
the
a
PC
PS4?
version,
Oh, the PC version,
which you can do, and I think I actually just started that game again not too long ago just to poke around in it, and I kind of prefer third person.
see
It's cool to see first person.
that's the thing. I feel like the first person is a neat novelty in those types of games, but I feel like they're built to be played in third person.
Yeah, which kind of makes it interesting that this Red Dead Redemption 2 might actually be built from the ground up to kind of support both. You know, maybe it'll run better that way, even though it's running in a different engine.
They also talk a lot about taking care of your horse in this news story on Polygon too.
Yeah, there's I also read that this is the guy Nibble on Twitter, right?
Yes, the guy that has the One Punch Man.
Yeah, the One Punch Man on it.
Yeah.
He posted something about how this would be the game of the year because someone from Kotaku, I think, asked how long it take to model like the testicles of the horse or whatever. Because everyone was like, "Wow, it's like real physics," and they're like, "Oh yeah, it actually when it's cold outside, it contracts and goes up, and then when it's hot, it lowers a little bit. Realistically, real testicles." And I'm like, "Why? Well, why would you spend development time on that? Like, why would you do that? Like, when you have that big budget of a game,
I thought you were gonna say when you have that big ball.
when you have the big balls,
Have that many big balls.
It's just weird to me. But also, I guess it just
Weapon
shows,
degradation.
yeah,
Yuck. I don't
that
want
sounds
that.
lame. I don't like that.
Horse testicle physics. Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, pros and cons of Red Dead 2 so far. Horse testicles change size. Pro.
Realistically,
Con. Weapon degradation.
Right. Weapon degradation. Fuck that.
Con. Horse ball degradation.
Oh
Over time.
my god.
If you work your horse too hard in the heat, those balls explode.
it's terrible. It's terrifying.
They've gone too
Gotta
far.
Protect your horse's balls.
Rockstar's gone too far this time. Hot coffee is nothing to hot horse balls. Okay. Well,
You get that horse all hot. You take it straight into the cold area. It's like Legend of Zelda where Link's all like Breath of the Wild. Link's all like, and the horse is all like, my balls shrunk.
It's shrinkage.
I was in the pool. What's the next fucking news story? We
Sorry.
have?
Capcom
Let's see what we
closes
got here.
studio behind Dead
Oh,
Rising.
Okay, this is sad.
is
This
not
is
a fun
no more
one.
funny business.
Yeah,
No more
guys.
funny
Con.
business.
This is the Capcom.
Oh.
It's the Vancouver studio, which is I think-
Capcom Vancouver,
think
which
they
they did
have-
the last.
I was gonna say, I don't
What?
think they have many other places that are like in North
Oh, that
America. at all,
Capcom has
besides in
named.
Japan.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is like Capcom right now is focusing a lot on like Japanese
May Cry.
developed like
They're
Japanese
focusing right now on fixing Street Fighter 5.
well Street Fighter 5, but of course the success of Monster Hunter.
Yep.
Devil May Cry right now is looking like another big game that they're putting a lot of time behind. Resident Evil 2, the remake. So it seems like they're pulling their franchises like closer back, like towards the vest, and like, there was a time when Capcom was like giving a lot, like you saw that I feel like Capcom goes in cycles like this, like when they gave the Bionic Commando remake over to like a foreign studio, foreign to them. They had Dark Void
Yeah.
was also developed by the guys that did Crimson Skies and a few other games.
Was it Lost Planet?
Lost Planet also was developed, it seemed like out of house. So like it, but then they always kind of like then contract, just like those horse balls. They contract.
Just like those horse balls.
They bring all their franchises back kind of in under
not
the
a good
umbrella to refocus. We're in another one of those periods. So Capcom Vancouver is no more. They made the last few Dead Rising games, I think 3 and 4.
Yes, 3 and 4 they made, and they also made Puzzle Fighter.
They also made Puzzle Fighter,
we knew
so
got shut down pretty
that
quickly.
got shuttered. Yeah, so that was not great. So I don't know what this means for the Dead Rising franchise. Whether the next one we see is again another big.
I don't think we're gonna see one.
I always forget that
For
that's
a
made by
while.
Capcom, to be honest.
The first one was made by Capcom Japan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only the second onwards that were made by
I think it was
the
the
Vancouver
third
studio.
onwards. I think second was still made.
The
by
second
Japan.
one I feel like was not Japan, but
I
we'll
think the
see.
second one
We'll
is.
see.
Yeah, we'll double check.
Let's
We'll
see.
do a fact check right now on the air.
Rising 2.
Let's find out.
They
Developed by a
was
Canadian
developed
company.
by Blue Castle Games,
Yeah.
which is a what
You're
developer?
correct, Matt. I think because I believe.
Oh, which became Capcom Vancouver.
There you go.
I guess they were a third-party studio, and then got kind of brought under the Capcom umbrella, and now are no more.
No more.
So sad. I personally never played a Dead Rising game past the first one. I really liked the first one, despite some archaic mechanics that made it kind of frustrating. But that was, I felt like, in line with what the game was going
The
for.
second one is apparently the best one. Is what everyone says.
Yeah,
The first one was the first one was very unique, and then the second one was cool because it had like pretty fun co-op.
the
stuff.
second one was where they started introducing like the take this item and put it with this item and make
Yes, and
a
make
new
a
cool
bigger sledgehammer that has a blade on it
and
now.
you kill zombies like crazy style.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like in the first
Whereas
one,
the first one had like put the cone on this zombie's head. Like the first one was still goofy as
It's
all hell.
goofy
but-
and weird, but yeah.
fantastic. Cover Wars, you know.
Cover Wars. Yeah, so good. What other news items we got here? We got Microsoft teaming with Make-A-Wish to auction custom consoles off for kids.
Yeah, so this I thought was neat just because I
Cool.
saw this story and then I went on my Instagram account and then Jack Black had posted a picture of his custom console that is being
see
auctioned
that.
away, which is literally just him on the top of an Xbox One playing a toy saxophone into a microphone.
There's also a Wiz Khalifa one.
Yeah, so there is, let's see, the story according to Polygon is Microsoft is partnering with the Make-A-Wish Foundation and offering some celebrity-endorsed custom Xbox One consoles for the year's console for kids auction. Follows similar collaboration in 2007, though now the list of celebrities is longer and more star-studded. So we've got The Rock, we've got Carmelo Anthony, we got Jack Black, we got your good pal Ninja and Marshmello doing a Fortnite one.
Great, yeah.
Ronda Rousey is on
Smosh.
one.
Smosh.
Smosh.
Miyamoto.
Yeah, Miyamoto signs on Xbox. And then,
Usain Bolt.
and
This
then
is-
there's
this is a
some
wide variety.
game-themed
Liverpool
consoles with
Football Club. The
what?
rapper Ludacris.
Fuck Luda. And then there are some game-focused ones, including a Battlefield 5
Wiz
one,
Khalifa.
Rocket League, Minecraft, Halo, Fallout 76. This is a neat promotion. Can you click on this and see how much some of these are currently going for?
Yeah, how do I buy
bet
one?
A lot.
don't
I
see
bet a
section.
lot. You
Here
bet-
it says
yeah,
down. Go down.
$20,000.
It goes to Charity Buzz.
Oh, Charity Buzz. Let's see how many dollars these are.
Explore the lots.
700
for the
700 bucks. Oh, there's
Carmelo Anthony one.
Going for, let's see, who do you
The
think
Jack
has
Black one is 2,000.
I was to say who's Post
Jack
Oh,
Black,
Post-
popular man.
Post
Post Malone
Malone
is $4,250.
So far, Post Malone's winning.
$850 for Ronda Rousey's.
$850 for Ronda's.
I think the winner here is
Post Malone. Seems
Yeah.
like he is.
What was that? Was that 2,000 or
It's
4,000?
4,250. Even The Rock. You know why? It's because he's not. The Rock isn't on his. It's a
Yeah,
It's just
Jungle Cruise one,
which is like
that movie's not even out.
No, that movie could be bad. You don't want to have a bad movie in your house,
Yeah.
on your Xbox. It's gonna sit there.
Also-
the whole time. People make fun of you. They come over. Like,
Also,
"Ha!"
for both the Post Malone and Jack
The Battlefield
Black
5 one is 2,100. That's
Damn.
pretty high.
Yeah, Fallout 76 and Halo are also very high up there. The celebrities, no one cares about celebrities. They only care about
When it comes to
development
games, when it comes to games, how many times they trotted out celebrities to be like, look,
teams. That's true.
and it's like, and everyone's like,
But
We
Jack
don't
Black
care.
was the
But
star
Jack
of
Black
Brutal
transcend-
Legend.
He transcends that. Okay.
Actually, no.
He's an
yeah.
intermediate. He's an intermediate figure.
People sure love Post Malone.
$3,000 for this one.
The Halo autograph.
Halo 1.
Let's
Cool. I'm not gonna buy any of
Not
these.
buying any of that.
Neat.
But that's
Rich
neat.
people can
That's
spend
for the
money on
kids.
on the kids.
Yeah, for good reason.
Something little less neat is the kind of stalwart Square Enix composer.
Flash this week.
Yeah, I know, it's like one
news stories,
happy
there,
news
Ricardo.
and-
Yeah, I should have
sandwich.
probably done a better job of
That's a
doing it.
sandwich.
This is more like a parfait.
I
doesn't
got
like
layers.
that?
I got layers.
Nobuo Uematsu, stalwart composer for Square Enix, best known for the Final Fantasy series, is actually taking an indefinite leave of absence due to his health.
That sucks.
Let's see. Nobuo Uematsu.
Uh-huh.
He wrote on his personal blog, "From composing new works to holding concerts around the world, my days have been hectic, yet fulfilling. The resulting fatigue, however, has finally caught up with me, and I find it mentally and physically difficult to go on at my current pace." He says he's going to rest for at least the rest of 2018, and hopefully maybe get back in 2019. He goes on to quote, "Do not worry, once I've made a full recovery, I'll be back doing what I do best." But still, you got to think here. It says he's 59 years old, which is not super old, but it's not young by any means.
This is probably he's just doing a lot of stuff, you know. And
Yeah.
after a while, you just gotta take a break. I almost don't think it's. It might honestly just be fatigue, like he's saying, you know.
Yeah, could be, but again, at his age, you never quite know. Here they list some of his credits. Obviously, the Final Fantasy series.
I've heard of that.
He also has credits on Chrono Trigger,
Smash Bros.
Which-
Brawl.
Smash Brothers Brawl, and The Last Story, which was what game was The Last Story again?
I don't know. I've never actually heard of the last story. It is a Wii game, and that's all I got from clicking on this link.
Thanks, Polygon.
Thanks, Paul. Great wiki.
Well, either way, I don't recognize
I looked at this. I remember
game.
this art. Okay, the last story. Interesting.
Well, either way, Chrono Trigger has a fantastic soundtrack.
Yeah.
Most will obviously agree that Final Fantasy has some good music in there. And
Exactly.
also, I like that they note in the story that he skipped 13, which kind of cements the fact that 13 is kind of maligned by a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
And 15.
oh, and he did skip 15 too. But 15 is full of sweet boys, so I can't say anything.
Can't talk bad about them sweet
bad about
boys.
those sweet boys.
Sweet boys.
So hopefully Nobuo Uematsu, this leave of absence, he is able to recover and things and get back to making
A swift recovery to him.
yeah, especially because they do note that, well, who knows when that's coming out. They said obviously he would be working on that Final Fantasy VII remake, but who the hell knows when that's actually coming out, so
It's
Never.
but
never.
Never.
but to games that might actually come out here.
what you mean, like the ones on this trailer trash?
Trailer trash. No. Get it done.
Did your teleprompter run out?
Yes.
The teleprompter,
Sorry,
the
man.
teleprompter went wrong there for a trailer trash bit.
We'll get that fixed. We'll get that fixed there.
Trailer trash every week. We watch some trailers, the latest trailers, the hottest trailers, the newest trailers, and we talk about it on the podcast, and then we decide which one wins this week's trailer trash. And I'll tell you which one it is. It's gonna be the one that we announce at the end of this week's trailer trash. So you should watch the whole thing and hear our conversations about it. So let's go ahead and start with the first trailer. It's Transference from Elijah Wood and also other people.
And some other people.
Because games are a
Ubisoft.
collaborative process, and he doesn't actually, make them all by himself. No, this is the one that Ubisoft has published. That Elijah Wood has come out several times on stage to talk about. And what is the actual company that's making this? What's the actual developer? Restream.
Yeah, I believe so.
Restream. Is that
Restream.
his studio?
I don't know if he's the one like who banks it or if he just is the face of this
Is it
particular
like
game.
Vin
but
Diesel with Tygon Studios.
Restream is a live video feed service, so maybe that is not. Oh, Restream is what we've been using. That's I'm looking at the wrong video. I'm looking
Oh.
at our thing. What?
There's a little logo down there, but I can't tell.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back here.
What is that logo
Little
down
tiny-
at the bottom?
Oh, it's
right?
too tiny to see on this picture.
Ah, we can't see.
Is it in the description, perhaps?
Maybe.
There's no way to see in this particular
but it's
format we're watching this in. Anyway,
Can you scroll down further? No, that will
No.
make
That's
the
not gonna work.
thing not work. Man,
All right, never
off
mind.
To a
This is
good
a-
start.
off to a great start
It's-
here.
FMV slash not FMV.
VR slash not VR title.
Yeah, it seems like this is gonna be in VR, but perhaps not
can do both.
exclusive
Yeah,
to
I don't think
VR.
it's exclusive. It's like it looks walking simulator style. You walk around a creepy house.
But like horror, this looks like a horror.
Yeah, and puzzles
Like
intertwined.
psychological horror, I believe. Like I wouldn't call it so. It looks like that one game Observer,
Yeah.
right? The one that had the ones like cyberpunk
The one that
kind of
has Rutger
Rutger Howard. Yeah, Rutger Howard's in it. This looks in that aesthetic.
Yeah.
Kind of like cyber, like there's like weird glitchiness going on with the world, like
Mhm.
in a way it's like what's real and what's not kind of thing. So
some great performances here.
I'm interested in it just because it's a
Yeah,
VR title,
I'm-
but I don't know. It's and curious to see what Elijah Wood does, but I don't know. It doesn't look the best. It looks
I don't think he's
fine.
in it or anything like that. So
No,
I
What
think
if
it's
you
just
are
like
Elijah
part of the
Wood?
promotion for it.
just Elijah Wood the whole time.
What if this is Broken Age 2?
Swiss Army Man again.
No,
Even
that's not
more
him.
Swisses.
Wait,
It's
that's
not
not
in
him.
Swiss
That's
Army
Oh, Stanley Radcliffe. I
That's
did the
Daniel
thing.
Radcliffe, man.
I did the thing. I did the thing. Forgive me, Elijah Wood. Wow, I
What if
did.
it's Wilfred season
There you go. Wilfred.
5?
There we go.
We've been
There
too
we
high.
go.
We've made it.
What if it's Sin City? He's in Sin City.
He is in Sin City.
Sin
He's
City.
a character that doesn't talk in Sin City. He just skulks around.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Alexa meets Alexios.
Yeah, this is not even like a thing
Yay
for the
for-
game.
Yay for cross marketing.
Cross marketing, baby.
Yay. All hail Jeff Bezos, our Amazon overlord.
Amazon
Yay.
Overlord.
Hey, hold on. We're streaming on Twitch right now, so we can't
Oh
say
yeah. Well,
anything
no, that's
bad
what we're
about
saying. All
you.
hail him. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
As
this,
long as you're being genuine.
yeah, we're being 100% genuine.
This trailer has some moments.
It does.
I think one thing I really like about this trailer is it is very sincerely going for the joke. Like it's just not. It's just like we're just gonna make it goofy.
Sincerely marketing to you to
Yep.
buy a thing that
Well,
you don't need.
That's all these trailers, Matt.
yeah, but this one feels extra superfluous because like a game is a game, but this is like buy this full on like separate thing completely unrelated to the game itself.
My favorite part though
That has
is,
some
is here
game-related
showing up
jokes
in
in
the
it.
trailer where he gives the little kid a knife.
The kid's like,
that
the kid's
part
like,
is
high
that
five.
part's not. And he just hands him a
High
He
knife.
just gives him a knife, and I'm like, all right, that's pretty
That
good.
part's the jokes aren't even that bad. I
the
just
jokes are pretty good.
like yeah, it's not that bad. It's fine. It's just I don't know.
I don't know. For me, it's refreshing to see weird trailers that aren't just gameplay, and it's just like let's just see this very strange, multi-level marketing, cross marketing
Garbage.
thing. Yeah, like I'm not gonna buy
I-
this. It's ridiculous. It looks like a weird. It looks like a tiki mug.
Yeah, I thought it was fake at first when it appeared on screen at the very
Yeah.
beginning and the very
Is it
end.
fake? Is it real?
It looks like-
I'm still trying to find.
They did a
It's
cross
limited edition.
thing
Yeah,
before.
it is limited edition.
They did a cross thing before. It was not this game. I can't remember what game it actually was, but you could buy a game themed Alexa and it would have like again game themed jokes and answers and questions that you could ask it about stuff.
But yeah, then you could talk to it or whatever. I guess your Alexa and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna."
And you can ask it about elements of the game,
Yeah, which is
like
like, okay.
settings in the game.
I just love how they have to put that like, "Oh, this is what we're actually advertising. It's gonna be like really used for," and it's just these two parents awkwardly playing Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed.
the lady holding the controller, like not how a person actually holds controllers on
Not
a
relaxed
game.
at all.
And the man, like the most tense ever, going like, "Tell us about Mykonos."
Maybe he's
And I'm
trying
like,
really hard not to backseat game.
Yeah, it is.
I'm very bad at doing that, so I can relate. Resident Evil 2 story trailer.
Resident Evil
This is
2
the
as
second
well?
Resident Evil game.
Oh,
This is the
finally.
second
I
one.
was waiting for a sequel for so long.
Very weird order they've done things in. Resident Evil 7 came out just a couple of years ago, and now they're going with 2. I don't know where all the other games are,
It's
but
like
they're just
Battlefield, you know.
yeah, they're just kind of jumping around all over the place.
Yeah.
Do you guys like Claire Redfield? Do you guys like
she's fine.
Rookie? Do you guys like Rookie Cop Leon S. Kennedy?
I do.
Yes.
Do you guys like Ada Wong?
Sure.
I don't know who she is, but she looks
Do you guys know that they're all going to be in this game because it's a remake of Resident Evil 2 and they were all in that game?
What?
cool. What? That's
That's
insane.
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
One thing that we noted is that the voice acting in this game is kind of bad.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
Resident Evil. That's always been Resident Evil. I just didn't know if it was the same voice actor as from 4 or if the one from 4 is the same as the one from 2. I don't actually know that either.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
It's
We-
very, very.
We could look
stilted
it up, but we're
sounding.
not gonna.
I almost wonder if they took the same voice. I asked, like, did they take the same voice clips and then just, redub it, like sync the dubbing up to that?
I think that would be
enough.
crazy.
Yeah, that would
And
be
I don't think the
crazy.
sound files would be that.
Yeah,
high
the fidelity. They probably didn't.
It
They
was on
probably didn't
CD,
record
man. It
it.
was such a good fidelity.
okay.
Fidelity.
The fidelity is so good.
It's so good. It's so clear, so crisp.
There's some stuff going
Yeah, I think they
on here,
re-record.
man.
I would say they re-recorded stuff.
Yeah, you're probably
I
right.
think this game is gonna be scary.
It looks cool. It's a cool thing they're doing.
Yeah,
where
it
they're
looks
like going,
neat,
going
yeah.
all back through and showing the whole story.
It looks
and-
like Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's kinda
watching
one of those
gameplay
where
of
it's
it looks like Resident Evil 4,
It
just
does.
like with a
But obviously way
Amazing graphics.
nicer. Yeah, way nicer looking
fantastic
graphics.
graphics. Yeah.
Probably dual stick controls too, not single stick. I would imagine.
Yeah.
If it's 10 controls, that'd be really weird. I
yeah.
don't-
I just kind of like, I mean, going back and actually looking how that game sold, like, Resident Evil 7 obviously did not do
That
as
sucks, man. That game's good.
well, but that's
Yeah,
the
I
thing
just, want,
is,
I just
like,
want to play through of that because I'm a big baby and I can't play it myself.
I
but I
was
watched the
kinda-
playthrough of it. It is pretty cool.
yeah, but I was like kind of looking forward to seeing what they could do further
Yeah.
with that idea. But
that
it
that
seems like-
house aesthetic, the first half of that game is like amazing.
Yeah, it's so good.
Like
I think
like
it's
that
a-
part is great, and it gets like kind of Resident Evil-y towards the end. It kind of falls apart, but like I
It's
think
still
the,
fun. The second half's still like
Yeah.
okay, but definitely like the
Still
very,
fine,
very like
yeah.
last third is
But
bad.
like I would have liked to see, because like in a weird way, Resident Evil 7 is kind of like Resident Evil 1, sort of like in a.
It is, yeah. You're in for the most part in one house.
So like I
Yeah.
would have liked to see that take on like a Resident Evil 8 be like that take, but with Resident Evil 2, where you're
A
like in a city, like that could have been
But
interesting.
you could still, I mean, they could theoretically still do that, but
they won't.
they probably won't.
Capcom wants
they
that money, man. They're shutting down those studios and they're propping up the Monster Hunters. Just-
Yeah. And I guess
Autumn Fest.
the Resident Evil remake, a remake is a lot safer than a new game, isn't
Totally.
it? Based on how well the last one did.
Yeah, I knew.
Did you ever play the DLC for that game, Ethan?
I did not. I don't even think I
It's
don't even think
free.
I actually
There's a-
beat it.
Was it free? Oh, you ever beat it?
I
thought
got
you
like
beat
all
it.
the way to the very end and didn't finish it because the very
Oh,
end
wow.
of that game is not very. It's not good.
Like, what part were you at? Where
The
in
ship part, the second ship
Oh,
part.
okay. Yeah,
Did
you
say
go
the
back.
shit
You go.
part?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go back. You go back to the house.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, like, but that's like for a very like it's very short of that. Like, it's the game is like driving towards its conclusion.
Yeah, I figured I was near the end, and I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, you're very close then if you're at that point.
Yeah.
This guy's
Yeah,
gross.
this seems like they are like this is a safe bet. People will buy this game because Resident Evil 2, everyone loves it, and
looks good.
sure, yeah, visually it looks good. I'm just not a huge Resident Evil fan, but
yeah,
like
I probably won't play it, but it looks good.
moving on. What's our next trailer here?
Green
We've got
Hell, baby.
Green Hell.
Green Hell. You
This
know,
one is we got a lot of survival horror. I guess it's almost October. We're getting in that spooky mood. We got
Spooky mood.
Transference. We got Resident Evil 2. We got
Creepy
Green
jar.
Hell, which is like, what if the forest survival game, but also horror we'll call it survival horror for our purposes here today.
Yes.
A new genre that I have just made up myself.
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah. You got to survive,
Tell
and
me
you
more,
have,
Edison.
and you have to horror. Yeah, it looks like it's got like the full survival mechanics of like chop down this tree, make a fire, talk to this lady whose face is not animating.
I feel like they're going for a little more.
And then also we're gonna have a story, like a story in it that like drives you forward, and it seems like it's got some psychological horror.
Yeah.
Also, problematic use of
Indigenous
native
people.
I forgot about that
cultures
because they
to,
appear at the end, and I thought they were like just teenagers dressed in like
in the middle
skeleton
of
costumes.
rainforest, in the middle of the jungle. There's just these teenagers.
Okay,
just
they said stay sane, and I figured he was losing his mind or whatever, and was like, "Oh, teenagers from my
Oh.
youth who tortured me." I don't know.
But then who would they
Maybe.
be in real life? The indigenous peoples.
Oh, I thought it was just spooky, scary skeleton like sweater.
He's scary skeleton.
No, but I'm saying
Ethan saw those skeletons as like, oh wow, skeletons, not like people dressed, not people dressed as skeletons. Like, wow, there's skeletons in this game. Yeah,
That part's not great.
that part's not great. I don't know. The rest of it seems like fine. It also seems a little bit budget as well. So
Yeah, the part where
yeah.
the character's talking and it's completely obscured their face with the smoke
yeah,
coming
the
up in the
smoke.
fire.
I mean, hey, clever use of
Yeah.
something to at least try to do it, but it definitely feels a little budget. You know, I just don't want another survival game. I'm just done with. I hate survival games anyway. So
There's already
not
so many of
sold.
them. So unless you do something like
here's
crazy different-
another.
And I don't like spooky scary games, so extra not sold because
spooky,
I am
scary
a big.
skeleton.
All right, what about this game that you're more sold on? The Gardens Between.
This game looks neat.
It does look very neat.
That's really, really
This is a
neat.
puzzle game, I think. I don't know if this is co-op or not. It looks kind of like it would be
It
co-op,
looks like
but I'm
two
not sure.
people
If
can play it because it seems
Yeah.
almost you're using two separate joysticks, maybe.
Joy-Cons?
This game's really
Uh,
pretty.
Yeah, it's very pretty, and you play as these two kids who have a treehouse, and they have magical adventures in their treehouse because everybody did that in their treehouse.
Listen, is it
Uh,
like the SpongeBob episode where they get in the box and then it becomes
Yes,
different
it's-
stuff to them?
Robot Pirate Island.
Yeah,
I want to go there. They go to a pirate island in this one, but it's not. There's no
I
robots
can't
there. at
believe
least,
those
or-
pirates beat
or
all
do
those
they?
robots.
I mean, just the magic treehouse again. That's all it is, really.
This monument is for all the brave pirates who defeated the robot menace.
No,
Yeah,
but
so you gotta watch out for that popcorn because it's gonna fall off that giant couch.
it
on
looks
this
really.
island.
It looks
It's all
really
these little
really
like puzzle
neat.
areas where you gotta like use the two people, and then you have time slowing down reversal mechanics that you
Wait.
can use to like kind of manipulate the world and do some really cool. The visuals are really cool looking. Like it's a good looking game.
Yeah, it's got a great style. Great style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm gonna probably check this
Do
thing out.
you
And maybe
remember
look up some
Blade?
playthroughs, or at least some gameplay of it, and see if it's for me. What the heck? What? Oh.
What
We
happened?
lost. What happened?
I
to
don't know.
Matt?
What,
Something-
I'm right here.
It
I
just
did not
dis-
hit the disconnect.
just
Did you click
disappeared for
disconnect?
some reason. No, I'm not sure.
Your
Wow.
thing's turned off.
What?
Wow,
What turned off?
Ricardo.
The camera is
Yeah.
turned
Ethan-
off.
camera turned
you
off.
and Ricardo both sound like you are like like you've drank the opposite of helium. You're like, hey, I'm Ethan, and
Oh, it's doing that
Oh,
thing. Oh, that's very strange. I don't know why I did that. That was very
Okay,
weird.
we're
you
back.
guys- I can't take you seriously.
We're not back.
Are we
Alright.
still talking funny?
No, you're back. I can hear you. I can hear you.
But are we talking like we're
Yeah, you're like, hey guys, I'm
Feed me,
Ricardo.
Seymour.
Let me call you back there real quick. Technical difficulties.
Hold, please
We'll
hold.
be right back.
Technical difficulties. Du-du-du, du-du-du, du-du-du-du,
about now?
du-du-du.
You still sound messed up.
Du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du.
I can, you know what? I can just persevere through it. I
Just
guess.
persevere through it.
Yeah.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh at all.
It's actually Ricardo sounds mostly the same. It's weirdly just Ethan.
Oh,
It's because you got a deep voice already, Ricardo.
oh
So it's
yeah,
not-
very
it's just-
manly.
Ethan
It's
sounds
because
so
it's because my
balls. You get so hot in there,
it's
and your
'cause
balls
they
are
descended.
Yeah. I keep my
It's so
I put an
hot.
ice pack down there. Keep me going.
Just keep them contracted.
All right, 8-bit. No, Life is Strange 2.
Life
Life-
is
Speaking of
Strange.
weird voices,
Weird voices. I'm not
It's a-
sure
it's a
about
long
this
show.
game, guys.
Yeah, I
I'm not
don't
sure
know.
about this game. I'm not sold on it so far by any of the trailers.
Doesn't seem the best. It seems okay.
Yeah, I mean,
It just
like
doesn't have
I
a
like
draw,
Life
I
is
don't
Strange
know.
1. I don't think it's like I know some people here have problems with Life is Strange 1, but I'm not gonna say it's like a perfect game or flawless or visually like amazing or the best voice acting ever. But this one, I liked it. I enjoyed its heart, and I don't really get that out of this one. Although I think it probably has that heart still, but it's just the trailer is not really pushing me on it in any meaningful way. So
Yeah, I'll recuse myself from talking too much about it, but yeah,
well,
I
someone
mean,
who
one
didn't
of
like the first game is this
one
kind
of the few endearing things about the first game was the fact that it had that like high school setting, and there was kind of a degree of you going through the typical teenage high school things, whereas this is like you're just on the road, man.
Yeah.
You're just out there.
Traveling.
Yeah. It was just not typical teenage.
No,
Which is
I've,
not.
I've never been going on a road trip with my brother to another state.
Oh yeah, the brother.
I think you're
What's the brother's
trying-
name, Ethan?
Let's get
That's what I
contact.
said. I've never been on a road trip with my brother. It
Oh,
doesn't
he's never
exist.
been. Got it.
Oh no.
Oh, that just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, if I hear this, you know, I'm sure critics and stuff like that will play it and talk about it. So maybe if it's really good, I'll get into it eventually.
Buzz.
I just,
Trailers
Yeah.
not selling us.
no, it doesn't look like terrible or anything. It just doesn't look
Great.
great. Yeah.
Speaking of trailers not selling us, perhaps.
So yeah, we got
8-bit armies. You know what? I had the biggest problem with this is that it's called 8-bit armies and nothing in this trailer is 8-bit.
What are you talking about? They're square edged. That means they're 8-bit,
8-bit,
dog.
Yeah. I'm tired of voxel art. We talked about it when we watched the trailer itself, but everyone claims about Petroglyph. Petroglyph's still a studio? They still exist? I didn't know they were still a thing.
I don't know who Petroglyph is. Please explain. Matt.
Petroglyph. Oh gosh, what did they made several LucasArts games.
Oh wow, really?
Petroglyph games.
Grim Fandango.
Oh,
No,
you're
that
all
was
right,
Double Fine. What's
buddy?
up?
You all right, buddy?
Star
Yeah.
Wars Empire at War.
Perfect.
Universe at War, Earth Assault. You played Universe at War, Ethan, didn't you?
Yeah,
You
I
played Star
did.
Wars Empire at War.
A little bit of that.
Grey Goo in
Oh
2015.
wow, okay, yeah. So they actually have a pedigree of
yeah.
making like actual pretty
Like a
decent.
bunch of a bunch of real-time strategy games.
Yeah, this looks more.
They've made more between them than in there, but I just haven't written them all.
Yeah,
I didn't know they were
this is
still
a
around.
real-time strategy game, but they just made a weird art style that I don't
Yeah,
think
just the
works.
voxel thing. I'm just like everyone complains a lot about pixel art these days about like how it's overused, it doesn't look good, and all that kind of stuff. I think voxel art looks worse every time than.
I think there's also
Then
less
pixel.
voxel art games.
But I know, and I'm way
They
more
all
tired
just
of it
has a
than I am
tendency
pixel art.
to-
Like I think people are overly harsh on pixel art. I think it's just a tool that people use to make
I feel like this style has a tendency to look cheap if it's not done like perfectly.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is not done perfectly, so it does look a little sus here watching it.
Little meh.
Yeah.
Little janky. You know what game doesn't look janky at all though?
What?
What's that?
Devil May Cry 5, baby.
Bang, bang,
That
bang.
game.
Pull my
that
devil
game looks
trigger.
That game looks edgy,
That game looks
and
bad.
hardcore.
EA. You're an old
Good.
grizzled-
Finally, they gave Dante back his horse balls, which they took away in DMC.
I can't put horse balls in the name of this podcast.
Why
Why
not?
Ricardo?
It's one of the horse
I
balls.
can't do it.
Fine.
Fine.
I'm
do what
writing
you
it in right now, but I won't stand for this.
want. Oh man, this trailer made me be like, man, I miss playing these type of games. These character action, just wacky, goofy metal playing in the background, and then
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of these games these days were taken over by the Batman style combat, whereas this was
Yeah.
before when it was like more the I don't even know how to describe the style of gameplay of DMC. I mean, it's
Character
hack-
action.
Yeah, character.
character action. They're
that's-
combo-y, very combo heavy.
Yeah.
Unlike Batman, where it's just like a couple buttons. This is like no, you can actually hit a couple
I
things.
mean,
and
yeah. I
it's
mean,
cute.
Batman doesn't really have any. It really is like one button combat if you think about it. It just kind of has like, finisher moves you can do and stuff like that. But it's basically just the one button actually.
Yep. It's like this game and Bayonetta and
This game looks very stylish. It looks like it's got a lot of character. It looks like Dante is a douchey asshole in the right amount of like how you want Dante to be. What else? Does that sound right, everybody?
Some of those monsters look like they have balls for heads.
Why is it only you just trying to copy? That's Ricardo's bit.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ricardo. What'd you think of this trailer?
This trailer has got a lot of big personalities in it. Dante, Nero, Trish, Lady, that one lady with the glasses that talks like a hillbilly.
Yeah, what's with her?
I don't know. I think in this trailer she says a throwaway line about her mom being the one that designed a lot of Dante's weapons, and he looks at his guns.
It's like, huh? Guns? I have weapons.
I just always had these.
And he dual wields 2 motorcycles, so you know the game is gonna be good.
Yeah, that's kind of the selling point.
That's basically it, isn't it? Right? Like,
precisely.
Yeah. I mean,
and then you see Adam Driver at the end.
Yep. Young Adam Driver.
Right, that is Adam Driver. I didn't realize that. Now,
I mean, it's not really him, but it definitely looks
Adam
like
Driver.
it's modeled after.
No, it's
him.
actually really him.
Oh, okay, it's him. He's starring in the game.
It's FMV. That was him in real life. That was not like the every other character.
Also, there's a Mega
digital.
Buster.
Yeah. Because it's a Capcom game. We can't not pimp Mega Man out.
We love Mega Man.
Also, there's ladies in sexy clothing.
Yes.
That's what we gotta have.
I mean, that's DMC, dog. That's what we come
DMC
to.
dog
it for,
is
even in DMC, there was like
I mean,
a
that's
lady.
Devil May Cry. I mean, what?
In
DMC is
DMC, that particular version, there was a lady who had like a hoodie and then just had a cutout right for her cleavage, and I was like, we never wear so much clothes except around that area. That seems
nice,
very practical, but yeah, you do, you lady.
All right, well,
That
we gotta
pulls
end this
my
podcast.
devil
We gotta end this.
trigger.
It gets my horse balls going. We gotta get quickly because you guys' overly deep anti-helium voices is really weirding me out. I don't like it. So what wins this week's trailer? Oh wait,
we
there's
still
one more
have
trailer.
more trailer.
There's Undertale, man.
Undertale.
Switch.
For the
This
Switch.
begins with an animated part at the beginning, which I don't know what it's. Oh, it's Kissy Kissy Mew Mew. That's what it is. Okay, now I'm understanding what the beginning of this is supposed to be.
Cool. I've played this
Mew Mew.
game.
So I like
very good.
I like how it just says like, no new features. The game is good. And that's it.
Yeah.
Just play it again.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like we've shown this part on other trailers.
Yeah.
Almost no new content, same as it ever was.
Very Undertale humor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've shown these events
There's
every
the part with
trailer
the-
so far. Ain't stopping now. So yeah, just a funny trailer for a game.
Yeah, it's
obviously
goofy.
has been out for
For a while
everything
now.
else at this point.
But hey, good place for it. If you haven't played it, it's probably one of the better places to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great game no matter where you play it. If you don't like playing games on PC, the PlayStation version is available. This one is available. Play it because it's a great game. One of the best games of all time.
It's a good game.
Just saying.
All right, what wins?
All right,
y'all?
now what wins?
What are you doing?
Wins. What
What are you
wins?
doing here?
Just swapping back to it because I realized.
What
I don't know
are
why I
you
stopped it.
doing?
I don't know why I stopped it.
I don't know why you did
I just did
You're
that.
just clicking around.
Let's see.
All right, guys.
I'm gonna go with Devil May Cry 5.
DMC 5.
DMC.
I'm gonna say Alexa beats Nexios.
All right. Okay.
Mm,
Matt just
All
doesn't
right.
like it on principle.
I don't like that. I thought it was fine. It wasn't that funny.
I laughed
Even on-
harder
even-
than
Matthew,
any
even
other
on
you
principle.
have the opportunity to push this or to give hand the victory over somebody, or you could push this.
Yeah, Devil May Cry 5. That can win. That's fine. I was gonna say Undertale.
Undertale's
You know I wasn't gonna pick that one.
So
So
my Devil Trigger.
I threw it.
yeah, you weren't strategic with your voting. Gotta be strategic.
Yeah.
Strategery.
So you just throwing your vote away,
Throw my
Ethan.
vote away.
Like
Oh,
voting
man.
for a third party.
Alexios is the third party.
Yeah.
The Spartan party. Well, that about wraps it up. I can't handle much more of Ricardo and Ethan's weirdly deep voices for the rest for this podcast. So I'm gonna say thank you for watching. We are streaming now on YouTube. We are streaming on twitch.tv/pixel_legends and on Mixer as pixel_legends as well. On YouTube, we're Pixel Legends with 1L. Because that's the way we roll,
That's the way it
having
is.
weird different threads on every single website.
That's
we
how
go
you
to.
get your brand out there.
Yeah,
You
that's
make
how
it as
it works.
confusing as possible. to everyone. Nah, it's all right.
Let's see. Streams upcoming this week, tomorrow night. The most
It's a big
important
one.
stream. There's 2 streams that are happening.
Don't
streams.
cross them though.
Don't. Amber and I will be streaming at 8 p.m. on Friday night. We will be listening. If you're listening to this in the audio version, that's tonight. And we'll be playing Mass Effect 2. Amber just started it last week. You're going to return to it. Ethan at 8:30 p.m. Only minutes after we've started, we'll be trying to hijack with his big paid subscribers and go on and like a big business Twitch affiliate over here is gonna
Yep,
come
man,
in,
rolling that
smush the
dough.
little
Smush
guy,
the little guy. Get him out of here.
and you're gonna play some other game that's whatever. It's fine, I guess.
It's
and that's
called.
anyway.
I don't even know what it's called. dude.
I
All
always-
right,
okay,
that doesn't matter.
It's called
It doesn't
Stories
matter.
Untold. I kept mixing up between Untold Stories and Stories Untold. But it's Stories Untold,
Stories
proper
Untold.
name. It is a text adventure type game. My co-host on the other half will be playing it. I will be navigating him. It is not a.
already
Oh,
given too
he's
many
gonna
other
have
half-
He's gonna be
control.
playing it.
We've already given too many other half endorsements, so we can't reference that again for
It's
this
fine. It's
podcast.
over. He's gonna be playing it. He's not great at skill dexterity based video games, so he'll be okay at this one, I think. So that's what he told me. So I was like, all right, sure. I think
All
he'll be
right.
okay. And then
It's a point and click adventure game, right? So it's not
I
shouldn't be
think
too
so.
skill based.
you're also streaming again on
see.
Saturday.
No, Sunday. We'll be
Sunday.
streaming on Sunday as well. More Mass Effect 2. Kind of catch up for the last week and where we didn't play anything. Ricardo just played Dark Souls 3 last night. That was pretty fun to watch. Check out his stream. Learn many things about Dark Souls, such as how to kill enemies, how to avoid dying from enemies, how to get rid of items from your inventory. Lots of things that you can learn. So check out those pro tips. Go on and check out Ricardo's streams every Wednesday.
7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm probably gonna try to branch out to another day as well, but don't know yet.
And then Ethan will be doing on Monday his Overlord.
his
Overlord 2, probably the last one. Overlord 2, probably this time at the end of the game.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Probably. So.
Well, with that, you can catch us every Thursday night on twitch.tv and Mixer and YouTube. YouTube. And then our audio version goes out on iTunes. If you want to listen to that instead of watching this long video, go ahead and do that and give us a rating and review. We would really appreciate it. So thank you very much. Do all the smashing of the liking and the horse balls. Get those in there as well. And
Horse
we will catch
balls.
you next week for more of the Pixel Podcast.